The main culprit are the politicians. Galamsey Kosu Bebe say politicians in Nimubia, in Galamsey need to Ghana is the #1 producer of gold in the world. Strangely, Africa, Algeria, South Africa, Libya, Egypt, Morocco, and Medical Bono. Now, Waba, your friend in Nigeria, #6, Mauritius, #7, #8, Ghana. Many abre. You to go to Yasipa, Sigobia.
Who's the #1 in the world?
#1 in the world after South Africa. South Africa was #1. Ghana has taken over.
Currently?
Yes.
And now what's the reserve? Yet to
8. Now 8 in Ukraine, wouldn't you cry? Mr. From Kwame Nkrumah can be seen. Leaders, I'm saying, Akabi Binum Bibiri.
You know, when you say, Wapayo.
So when you the Abema into school now, when Fasuben Suna also. Miss repeat it, Missy, United States of America, 75% of its reserves are by gold. A gold of 8,133.5 metric tons. Ghana, young gold total gold reserves are 8.74 metric tons. Yes, we are the #1 producer of gold in the world. A better than Usikan and Sawagbaja.
That's true.
Afiti, the top 5 gold holders in the world. UK count, but watch it kakra. But Afiti, United States of America, 8,135 metric tons. Germany, 3,359.1 metric tons. So, German economy is the strongest economy in the whole of Europe. Watch is adding. German's economy is the strongest economy in the whole of Europe because of reserves. Yes.
Okay. That's in okay. I rock as a pa. Oko boss now her bossy crew, and your bossy crew is dahofa. They are what the good as seno. Now, Ober Kotakwa. Now, Ober who be dancing some Butembiso.
Yo.
Now, what the Casasimia. Now, you at the Senia slave trade in Breno. Now, watch one and Nana, what in the call. Now, for a goofy now when you're drinking. I rock as a pa. A blemish, man. A come casapa. Dem pan yedi. In this area, why you say, person be here, now why you in Yajuma? Would you know why I would say, be away the debut was Sumkaka, now wouldn't Yajuni?
But my first assignment a bit me, my answer.
Or man, did them Cassapa.
I did them.
You. Very big blemish. We don't know.
Central Bank percent too good.
I bet if you channel for her.
Baby, you better if you know, Quanunim. So, I couldn't walk to so I didn't know come over fast. But also too good so that they can back a. One way Japan deal, we be near their politics. You remember all that? A Japan deal. So I know my women in Akamu, KB and Kababua. Yet the politics I know Ghana of Boogie. Yantiasi near the chief, go near Buego. Now, when we look at the world, Tokoesi, COVID by Abitrum, Tokoesi, Russia and Ukraine, once what one year Abitrum, once walk on Tokau. But at the back, and Isia nipa ho nwa kakra na mebo voice bi na yetie ne ya kansem afi efu a ya hwe now mebo ne tie a ene say what is sanctioned the most sanctioned country in the world Russia. Listen to me and listen to me very carefully. The most sanctioned country in the world now Russia. Esa ntokwa akọ wode tua Ukraine and tokwa na nke nipa bi fi se ehu hia na wiasefo nyina gem to se ehu hia so obi tin krom na akoto ahye no so de Zimbabwe je kru na boso na historically mo ye ba ne de na ofo se ehu hia zo akofa ntokwa na ba nti wiase nyina tu ani asinsu United States of America, UK, France, Germany, Italy be bia wo do ani asinu so wode wani asi Russia so na ya kwesi ni se won sanction Russia ema won assets across the globe won agije nyoma bebre afi wonsem won sika di da Central Bank of New York no say America Federal Bank di da ho UK won sika bebre ho because of international gas ni we now when we accounts we asi bebre and according to information and statistical facts available no one asset war across the world in over $300 billion and then what the one south to the also and then what the sanction out to ne oil export so Nti sani awoye no companies bebree one stop operations or Russia. No kwa fa so si no na wo fo sen ko ye na ka Russia ho akere no. But Russia's currency rather gaining momentum. It's becoming the strongest and the most firmer currency in the world against all other currencies. They say euro ho akere no, pound ho akere no, dollar no credit no ho akere no. But dollar no jira now so for a reason. China won sikano de enyi kura yiskano kura mu yedrusin. The Japanese yiskano ye muskano mu yedrusin. South Korea Ghana sikano kura mu yedrusin. But we jira won now so. Sa no many nyina na keka mo ni bi say Russia ruble, Russia one currency we friend ruble. Na sa ruble no Argentina are stronger than most currencies in the globe. I don't know ibisa no because it's gaining a lot of strength against the US dollar. The no ni pesi ibisa. Bebo voice bi ye wi a mabo voice na wi no na de aka yasem na afi ye wi a ye hu say gold play a very important role when it comes to currency stabilization. Gold play very strong your friend then what do you call it, it plays a very strong role. Na ye me say we see Ghana wo fra ha gold coast mebua dan se ne benya ni pen wo fra gold coast so sisi campo ano na yemi say hu sika no ahine wo ho enti ama yin sika na e gold no e betuma ma yen currency na very strong ye be bisa sa question no ni ahwe South Africa ha Ghana yet to gold say Ghana is the #1 producer of gold in the world. You take over from South Africa. Yemi say yen gold reserve ahi and wo e ma yen currency no I stronger amafo so that dollar as if say a dollar country masa woni ni a e betuma ma sika na stable a me pa chaw yenya ne ye no. Let's listen to the voice, and then when I'm done, stay tuned. I'm going to give statistics. Near the world, countries that will go reserves power. Near South Africa, countries that will go reserves power. And in India, countries beat America, and in France, and in Germany, in Italy, normally UK, won't go reserves. No, until I'm one country. No, I friends very strong, sir. Na ma kire adukudinti ma gold so e ba kiska e ma na stronger na chechiri nyina but your stating let's roll but your voice
all that saber rattling has also spooked the world economy. Every day it's the same headline: your fuel is more expensive, your favorite food has gone missing from the shelves, your domestic currency is losing value. Tonight, let's focus on the last one, your currency. Chances are it has lost value in the last few months. Take the Japanese yen, for example. It's down 18% compared to the US dollar this year. $1 now equals 136 yen. And this is a 24-year low. Compare that to February when Russia invaded. $1 was equal to 115 yen. You see the difference? Same story in South Korea. Their currency is called the won. In February, $1 was trading at 1200 won. Today, it has reached 1300. The Philippine currency also crashed today. $1 now equals more than 54 Philippine pesos. It's the lowest value in 17 years. No currency has been spared in this crash. The Indian rupee, we've been telling you, is down. The Chinese yuan is down. The euro is down. But guess which currency is not down? The Russian ruble. Let me show you some numbers. On the day of the invasion, $1 equaled 85 rubles. Then came the sanctions, the trade embargoes, the boycotts. All of it was supposed to break the Russian economy. Do you remember what Joe Biden said back in the month of March? He said the ruble is now rubble. Well, that rubble is now the best performing currency in the world. It is up 35% this year. $1 now equals 53 rubles. The question is how? How did this happen? The sanctions were supposed to make the ruble worthless. So why is it setting new records? Because of three reasons. Number one, Russia's capital control measures. The central bank has designed policies to keep money inside Russia. I'll give you an example. Imagine you run a company in Russia. You have business operations outside the country as well. Every year you earn $100 million. According to new laws, 80% of that revenue will be converted into rubles. In this example, $80 million. Such measures have increased the demand for rubles. It kept capital from fleeing Russia. Reason number two, gas payments in rubles. European companies used to pay Russia in euros. After the invasion, Russia changed that policy. They demanded payments in rubles. So once again, demand for the Russian currency has gone up. Reason number 3, import controls. If you import more goods, you need more dollars. But Russia has done the opposite. They cut down on foreign imports. And the result is this. They've needed fewer dollars in the last few months. So the strengthening ruble is not really an organic market reaction. It has been designed.
Bacho, TFO bi OTSC ano. Bacho te de kosusisi. Now ruble, which is the Russian currency, because of the sanction, the whole world thought that the war in Ukraine was unnecessary, so they have to cripple the economy. These are the measures. But when Ghana hire tiha, in a central bank, solution be out or solve the problem. Some of these things are tough measures that needs to be taken by the government and the central bank of a country. Now they have brought in capital control measures. Capital control measures, yes, you kroma. So Bruni feel say mfasubi ani Ghana or maha so ba bidigwa ha. Obroni bi anu ana foreign investor bi anu obeba ha, onim say mfasu ni kroma ntiro wa ba establish wa ha. Multinationals are ba ni na they know say mfasu bi wa ha ntiro wa ba establish wa, right? That is it. It is only part ba ha ma on fa ne pe enye ne opa bia no nko. Ni etiri say capital control measures na the Central Bank of Russia e dia ba ne say obi a wo ye adwuma wo ho bia the capital flight in obium. You have to retain 80% of what you earn, or adibia wunya on faso wunya no. You have to retain 80% of that money in Russia. That means that Russia hono wunya sika na wuntumi sesa emfa nkwa outside. Nti dollar no e de kakra wo e da ho. Any money that they bia no because which rubles na wunya. This 80% of your amount. Me fast we adwuma no nya $800 million ah. 80% is retained. 20% and abeko. So it means that a 200 million and abetumi outside Russia. The academy should be retained within Russia. A yamra or diaba. This is how you do one as obetumi and what now. That is it. Ghana hayamra Ghana ni enhwade. Ghana haya won faso bebre wa ha. Sena mekan wo hwe one thing na ye won faso wo so pa cocoa. Ghana is the second largest producer of cocoa in the world. Ghana's cocoa is regarded as the premium cocoa bean in the world. It is what the cocoa bean be fi baby a. Ghana then guess what or the fra. And then when the quality of chocolate and confectioneries are opesa odian when you without Ghana's cocoa so what we fra no at the cocoa na baby anya papa bia. Minim at the kodo patia e me yingo cocoa ni so special sa. But that is the reality on the ground. And when you go to the international market, Ghana's cocoa bean is the most expensive than all the other cocoa beans that we have in the world, including Cote d'Ivoire. Now, what the government should have done, instead by this time, in 6 years down the lane, building a cocoa processing factory, they should have targeted this in at the international investors. Say cocoa bean become a government buy what's about 70 to 80% of young cocoa bean or persuade them what find ukruma. Make a refine production what process ukruma. That was what government said. But up to now, how much do we have? What's one SCB? How much? How much can we process? Senke to process it becomes a buffer and it becomes a strong bone. Backbone I bit to me the iden abaki in scan. Into cocoa bean and yes yet cocoa na near the cool. Na keep process you can even keep the cake, the cocoa cake but make keep by 1 year promise monton. One tongue and international your friend then cocoa wino and yajuma. Do you know say the international cocoa business chain of businesses over $200 billion US. Over $200 billion project annually. That is what is obtained from cocoa. But besides we do cocoa in unyam, sika yenyamu nyina kra ni $20 billion. All together Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, hifa one would do cocoa no. Ankasa no, sika onye fi cocoa no robi no, $10 billion a year. So you could say sika no bulk na ankasa na konkrofo. And the cocoa no so no, nya we process no, na bu ye dancing ni bean no raw bean. If Ghana government had done this, I am telling you, say, young currency in Kenya wikida. And Kaoba now beta, what say this is our terms, this is what we need. What by investing waha, what say this is our terms, this is what we need. And Kanono, a bit of currency now is stronger. Capital flight, and a capital control measures, and when Russia for wouldn't grow. Now, when we are there, Russia for you, we're the largest producer of gas in the world. Once Europe, when we are wrong. Because when you now kuti on, they say Russia and one could talk out into one gas in crown on fan could be you. But what am I doing? Do I say first look at you pay in international currency? What's it mean pay you? For Robono, Fabra. So over top now be to your career. I don't need your currency. I need my own currency. Until the terms are that bring my ruble to me and then come and take it. Well, yes, I know it has rather strengthened the ruble. What measures are there to do? Now, beyond all this, I am adding you. I mean, currency continue to be weaker. Now, international ones, stronger. No, is what I'm going to review. That is good. Countries are what the strong gold backing in their vote. Those who have more reserves in their vote, some in our own currency are very stronger. Russia also count. Russia is the 5th largest holder of gold in 8 votes. International currency is stronger. Yemi says Russia will see you on. Russia, what gold war? Gold war Russia na. Yemi say one question. And you Ghana know to gold. But Shadibi, I'm going to mention countries with the largest reserves of gold. Let me about the world country hold the largest reserve of gold. Then into one currency is stronger than. Now look at Africa. Ghana is the largest producer of gold in the world now. We have taken over from South Africa. Listen to me very carefully. Ghana near Fra Gold Coast. Ghana currently is the largest producer of gold in the world. Number 1. Afe Shade. Yemhwe say Ghana e follow ahin when it comes to in terms of possession of gold. Excess gold in its vault. Man currently very strong Ghana. Shade. Algeria number 1. We could 174 metric tons of gold. Algeria would to go to war. Algeria would to go to war. No. Second country, the largest gold in their vault, South Africa, 125. Until recently, South Africa was the largest producer of gold in the world. What do you say America? Remember, America is the largest holder of gold in its vault, over 8,000 metric tons. Now, most of the, we have in South Africa. But South Africa, ironically, look at us. 125 metric tons of gold in South Africa. It's even second after Algeria. I want to go to war. Third one, Libya. 117 metric tons of gold of Africa for Yusuban. Egypt, 80.75 metric tons of gold. Morocco, 2212 metric tons of gold. That is 22.12 metric tons of gold. Now, Shadibi. What are the first 5 countries now? South Africa, Penabi room. Ninga North African countries. Now, Ghana and Sebeba. Ghana and Beba. What's the memory Dindi?
So watch it.
Ghana. Watch it.
What by?
Say, I say walk to school. Na mwakwe exams, matters mwakwe results. Yeah, what results are when jump in go. Ubo ni udi first na zara wakorori. Inti yanhwe ebiane yare.
Udi nka say me say.
Yo.
Yeah, number 1 producer of
gold.
Sika koko.
Sika koko wiase nyina.
Yeah, na dasoro.
Yo.
Na afi ubo reserves no. Esa nka yedi na esa bokan.
Yo, esa si nim nyansa.
Wow.
Na utu gold na sa oyen galamse ya. Ebede na gold no wan gold dudu otu.
China fu no betuko.
China fu betuko. China fu one of the strongest countries in the world that will create gold pa China. One nyansa ukrai. We invaded the whole of Africa. And what one prefer be going where Galamsey road. Not to say being Galamsey now we you cannot control the gold. That is our problem in this country. And the politicians they are the culprit of those things. They are the culprit. The main culprit are the politicians. Galamsey Kosube Brebe say politicians in Nimubia. Galamsey need to yepia. Ghana is the number 1 producer of gold in the world. Ghana is the number 1 producer of gold in the world. Strangely, Africa, Algeria, South Africa, Libya, Egypt, Morocco, and Medican Bono. Now, Waba, your friend in Nigeria, number 6, Mauritius, number 7, Number 8 Ghana.
Akwadi agora na.
Meni agori. Meni abre. Mame mu bosu bi oneti. Me say Ghana is the number 1 producer of gold in the world. But nipa ekura gold reserves e wokuru mu Africa hapa no. Ghana enye number 1. Algeria 174 metric tons. If you have South Africa, South Africa is the 2nd producer of gold in the world. Into one day, say no, one day, the second. But I no can because Algeria found 2 gold. Then South Africa 125 metric tons. Libya 117 metric tons. Egypt 80.75 metric tons. Morocco 22.12 metric tons. Nigeria 21.37 metric tons. Mauritius 12.44 metric tons. Ghana number 8 8.74 metric tons. Tunisia number 9 6.8 metric tons. Then Mozambique we say Mozambique 3.97 metric tons. Inti Bissau yo. Inti Bissau say Mozambique 3.79 tons. One Africa for Akano, one gold ne be. So our currency will continue to, because one, people don't know why gold makes it so strong. Say a Baki currency, currency is very strong. Look, until 1973, gold was it was one of the main exchange of what? Main exchange of for commodities and services and those things. Gold and what years had it. Right? Gold, a medium of exchange until 1973. Now one of the key medium of exchange in the world. Afeni say when that thing faded out, what happens is that when you have more gold in your chest, na say se biribi kosia gold price kosura, you sell it and then becomes a buffer to cushion your currency. Into obi gold reserves be a dose be ano. Sa for one currency in tiny week. America count.
Intina oba Africa. Tunisia for no one sky very strong no.
Yeah, North African countries one sky is strong.
Yeah. Is when Munyansa singing.
When Munyansa singing. You to go to Yasipa Sinobia.
Who's the number 1 in the world?
Number 1 in the world after South Africa. Yeah, 2. South Africa was number 1. Ghana has taken over.
Currently?
Yes.
And now what's the reserve? Yet also
8. Now 8 in Ukraine, you cry. 89 ton, you cry 8.74 metric tons. Algeria 174 metric tons.
Omambe asem na okay.
Make a Ghana asem.
Fakwa yewe.
You.
Oma team CCA.
You.
Na kwaja yejimisa.
Yenim nyansa. Sebe.
Ana yejimi.
Me say from Kwame Nkrumah time BC ne. Leaders no. Em say akabi binu bebiri.
You know when you mana say e wapayo.
So wonim de be me nwa. Nti school na akwa mfa so ben so na wo so. Nia ono no re yesade na ode survive no. Ono nso oye de no hui. Say school kuro na makọ ni nyansa na mkusian. Enu abi no apply. And the Mrs. Samuel Mana than Galamsey Mandia. This is what we experience because Galamsey na mutu umuremon. Boys in a guano, when you go nukran, one pastor in crown, gold near one cran, baby then call Uncle Tukumu. Boys in what the Bibash one panties may be number to you, what the Kume found way to ya, walk out 7 1 and say a year to baby, Nwako tongue. Gold Nakasan, the gold cannot be controlled, so we don't even know how much gold near Fadim Kakrebi, no in the Yakana. Who is Ghana is the biggest or the largest producer of gold. So what I was smuggling what to India, was smuggling what to Dubai. The records which are shown in Dubai records, the records which are shown in India.
This match from Ghana.
Yes,
and that match from
all gold from all over the world were recorded. One Nyansa record. Into a record here, I feel you are not publishing. Then you know that answer the Ghana government grabbing say, yeah, export gold worth $5 billion. Yes, minimum. Ako United Arab Emirates kwa. Onim. Inti India fune China fune ade egu bibiri na waba edi atwintin gold business way. Politicians need mu akotin. The politicians cannot tell me they don't know anything about this.
Any himful.
Any individuals be. And one more gijo man. Any etia. Afa yan hwade ya ba bepon. But yan hwade ya eyu. Name America is strong. Now who be Drew? Shadio. America too good. America and control the largest gold in the whole world. Now, America, the US continues to safeguard gold belonging to other countries. So all gold belonging to other countries, United States of America, and a safeguarding amount.
Okay.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York, is the custodian of gold owned by foreign countries or governments. In the Ghana government, Uganda South Africa America has become the custodian of gold reserve for the whole world.
Really?
Yes.
They say
Debbie, as what she Federal Bank of New York, and into gold owned by government and foreign friend government. America for so. And the international organizations also, any other central banks in the world won't go reserve Federal Bank of New York. So it makes America's currency becomes more stronger. It makes it more stronger. America has the largest reserves of gold in the world.
It's going to gold.
Before and now, in the 70s, America's reserves of gold, one scattered back in reserves, 90 to 95% of them are backed by gold. United States. As we speak now, American total reserves, 75% is by gold. As we speak now, United States of America. Do you know how many metric tons they have? When African largest holder of gold, 174, America should one day. America, United States of America. United States of America, the total reserves of gold, I will cry 8,133.5 metric tons. Africa, Algeria, the largest holder of gold reserves, 174.
So unto
gold. South Africa is second, 125. South Africa is to gold pa. America was 8,133.5. A better than our Ghana currency, no, and weaker. Now, so why did it send the dollar? $1 Ghana for Yanti and $1 and yen. But with this attitude, and the way in Subanti, our currency will continue to be weaker against dollar. Yenya sadna yawan. You need dollar ukrumwa, dollar impia. America has backed its currency with 8,133.5 metric tons of gold. It makes the total reserve of America about 75% of it a gold reserves. 8,133.5 metric tons. So it will make their currency very stronger against your cedi. Who how many tons? 8 point something metric tons. And our gold reserves are one the number one producer of gold in the world. America was 8,133.5 metric tons. A better than I would to me, which can to me in this kind of compete.
So
now what I'm saying is that nobody should blame one government. Because successive government, so be about not even 10 metric tons, 20 metric tons, 1 metric tons, and successive government from Kwame Nkrumah in Gua and Kasemi and Ukraine over 1,000 metric tons now. So nobody should blame one government, say, any responsibility, any fault. All successive government now, that is the mistake all of them have made. Missy repeat it, Missy, United States of America, 75% of its reserves are by gold. We could gold of 8,133.5 metric tons. Ghana, young gold total gold reserves are 8.74 metric tons. Yes, we are the number one producer of gold in the world. A better than Usikan and Sawagbaja.
As through I wrote so.
As through the I wrote.
Because what can I say now was my idea.
I think that's wedding. Now, some I can so be pet you. Obin petty, I guess you did be at them. Meanwhile, we are educating the public, but Obin petty, I guess you didn't proffer them. And son wanted to hear can I say? Ye,
a summer can ye a yansa summer.
You
said be a yanful. Nay, scaffing in a big yans will be tea.
You.
That's in okay, I rock as a bar. wokɔ boase na hwɛ boase kuro no sɛ ne boase kuro si da ho fa na ya wɔde gold asɛ no na obɛkɔta kwa na obɛhu obi dansen sam abutan bi so
yo
na wode kasa asɛm ya na
eji usu
you at sɛnea slave trade mmerɛ no na wakyerɛ wo nanana wɔde ne kɔ na mbɔfra gu fie na wonya aduandi ɛyɛ kɛse paa ɛyɛ blemish ma ɔman no ɛkam kɛse paa dɛm paa ne yɛdi nti sɛ ɛyɛ wadwene sɛ wompɛ sɛ wobɛtia na wadwene nyɛ adwuma wotie yi na ɛwɔ yɛ adwene sɛ bia wɔyɛ dede bi wɔ asom kɛka na wonni adwene
me feel say sadwuma ne bitumi ama yɛ asesa
ɔman na didam kɛse paa
adidam
you very big blemish we don't know sɛ Morocco and Algeria when wanim singɛ a ɛyɛ number 1 of producing gold na yɛ ayɔrɔ
asi nsu
ɛyɛ sunpo
na sa wirɔ ho usu
kyɛ na usua
sɛ usua na ma ayɛ ayɔrɔ ho na asu atew kakra
na nyina no bɛhwɛ ase asu
ɛne mfi ase nsu a
serious oh asama kano very serious so can say number 1 producing of gold in the world hey mangana na here reserve say sa twetwo poa ketoa no a sebe ayi akora mpo fe nnai untumi tema untumi gold mpo esen sa eya roho
na fiti the top 5 gold holders in the world UK count but what she kakra arafiti United States of America 8,135 metric tons, Germany 3,359.1 metric tons. So German economy is the strongest economy in the whole of Europe. Watch is adding. German's economy is the strongest economy in the whole of Europe. Because of reserves. Yes.
Okay.
Now, the next one is Italy, which is shocking to me when I was doing the research. Italy, I was 2,451.8 metric tons.
Are you Roman for you?
Yes. South of Nunimo. We conquer country now, maybe we have good fee by. We have good fee Israel. When we say Romans are conquer Israel,
okay.
Israel has gold reserves. What for Egypt to con? What the gold fee up quite but Romans no could do once no we get most of the gold from them. I want we have most of the gold from by history. Me ya research na me hu sa de no. Geofo no reserve for gold but through conquest to count to count. Told me say e ho no na we fun gold no konya na bibiri.
Roman fo no.
Yes. France one shock me but we nya Africa 2,436.5 metric tons. What if Africa and Fibia? Congo nomini sankrofun to kwa na was sponsor ni West Africa ha nsem yina wo ye no e ho na France for anything way. Na one hu ya mu akakra France. You friend Britain. Wo gold pa. All you know. That is Queen Elizabeth.
What's the BBA when them out was made up of gold? So, she may be a Queen Elizabeth. Now she go the Gunu. Now, say first 5 countries in the world say Britain, Grand Kanwa. Now, me tell say gold, Mabubono. You can imagine a gold, Eshedemu. First 5 in Britain, Grand Kanwa. Right? Then you come to France, map of France. Then Russia. Russia, 2,301.6 metric tons of gold. Gold no hwetwe ne twetwe ra wodo kon wo be bia na Queen Elizabeth chen hwe gold ugina ho ane dan nim na enukura no first 5 pro mai so you can imagine countries na mabubodin you imagine the amount of gold that ehihye wo ho masa yedi egwere okurum a ane yedi aye galamsey me say ayro ho a
galamsey ane eta na wo ye galamsey a wo be den we don't have that common sense in our minds ane sikana titwa pansam ane eto. This is wisdom. We are talking wisdom, so somebody should listen to it. And this year, these are some of the things I am timamofuni media for. Yame adwene koso. Na etumi educating krofo na etumi se be sore ti yampanfo na. This is what we must do. Say mpanfo no sorry. Na gold na amanfo smoga or difficult country akono. Central bank, ma say central bank, person to gold. Aban se wa kasa asem. Central Bank percent to good.
Obeto fi China for no.
Baby obeto fi no nkwa no nim. So ko ngure no akoto so ayedem nim okwa be fa so ato. But also obeto good so that they can back a. When we Japan deal, bibia na dey politics. You be ba wo dachi. Japan deal. Sa no man no nyina kan wo. Ke bia nka babua. Ye dey politics anu Ghana bugui. Ye ntiase na ye di achi wo ni aboagu. Eja ya wo biribika. Hu adwuru.
Die ye kese.
Si yesu. Ye nkope brisi.
Ye na be oboso ya nan.
Ani se esimso utumfo kurawu.
Asante ne utumfo yi. Because I rock say ohwe oman ya wo din egugugu Africa tifi ho na wo wani onyam sin wo sika kokko mu na ya yoro ho etiniere kan em se nipa bia wo waso betie
and wontie wo mu yon asum
na wafa ho adwene
yo ya da mu nyina ase wo fra me Bright Edu akire obetumi afra me Uncle Bright